Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in today's episode of The Hypnotist, we're going to be doing a random hypnosis session based on random meanings, random words, and random emotions. A big thank you to all of the new subscribers I can see from the analytics on the podcast, but also YouTube as well, that there are new people watching, new people listening. We're on course actually to have 100,000 downloads this month on the podcast, which to me is mind-blowing because in December there was 63,000 downloads in a month. So to go over 100,000 within a month, almost doubling, is just amazing. So thank you for listening, thank you for watching, thank you for sharing. That's very much appreciated. So we're going to do the random hypnosis. This is entirely based on things that I don't know what's going to happen. So it will be a hypnosis session based on dream symbols, based on 2 emotions and 3 nouns. So we'll see how it goes, and hopefully it will be useful. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see that these are indeed randomly generated things. So if we go here, this is the dream generator. We're going to generate 3 meanings. So the first is if you can't board an airplane, and they're saying this means it's time to examine your emotions carefully, and kind of reevaluate things. Betrayal by a best friend, it means that difficult times are near. And chasing, if you see chasing in a dream, it means your life is about to turn a corner. Now, of course, these are meanings that are given. There's lots of dream encyclopedias and things like that. There is no verifiable way to mean that these are the actual meanings and representations of these. I'm a big believer that your unconscious will decide the significance of any symbol or metaphor. But for the purpose of this hypnosis, these 3 elements will be included. So chasing, a betrayal, and not being able to board an airplane. There are 2 emotions that we're going to randomly generate: excitement and irritation. So they're going to be a key part of this. And then the random word generator: direct, single, and spine. So if I think of direct, I'm thinking of the shortest distance between 2 points. So you can go around the houses in a very varied way, but equally you can go directly, and that's normally a more efficient way of doing things. Single could be the status of a relationship, but equally it could just mean one rather than multiple. And spine, again, you've got multiple meanings here. One, of course, is the skeleton structure. It's the core of your body. Without your spine, you can't stand up, you can't do things. Those people that are paralyzed, tend to have an injury to their spine. But also it's taken the meaning of confidence, or being spineless is cowardly in some way. So we might infuse that into the hypnosis session as well. So, like I say, I couldn't have predicted or preempted any of those symbols, words, or meanings, but we are going to infuse them into this live hypnosis session. So I've got my little 15-minute sound timer here. Find a quiet place you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in, imagine breathing in a feeling of calm and relaxation. As you breathe out, just notice that it becomes easier to finally let go of any tension, any stress, anything that's been playing on your mind that is getting in the way of you living your life to the level that you'd like to. If it's safe to do so, again, breathe in that resourceful feeling of relaxation, and then as you exhale, allow your eyelids to close, and by closing them, notice that you immediately feel a deeper level of connection to my voice, and simultaneously as you breathe out, notice that it takes you all the more deeper, relaxed. Now, that's it. Continue to breathe in and breathe out. And I want you to imagine that you're in an airport. Perhaps through those large glass windows you can see the plane that you would like to board. And maybe there's a destination that you've been thinking of visiting for a while. Maybe somewhere warm, tropical, or just a breakaway to see someone that you've wanted to see. The airport is busy, and the busyness of the airport represents the busyness of your mind. As you start to queue to board the plane, I want you to imagine that that queue represents any obstacles or delays that prevent you from living the life that you would like to. I want you to imagine that that plane represents a journey, and the destination represents a part of your future that you'd like to get to. And all too often we set goals and we only think about the destination. Sometimes we don't think about the preparation needed to board that plane, or indeed what the journey looks like. How do we know if we're on course? How do we know if we're not making progress? I want you to get a sense that you've been in this airport for a while and there are delays after delays. People queue to board the plane, they wait for a while and then they sit back down in their chairs. I want you to get a sense of the frustration or impatience that you might feel at wanting to do something but then can't. And you see the different personalities, those people that are constantly queuing as if by queuing that's going to speed up the process that they can board the plane. And typically these are the same people that tend to chase goals, chase their dreams. But isn't it strange that sometimes something strange happens, that the more you chase, the more elusive something becomes. And then the moment that you decide that you don't want to chase that thing anymore, suddenly it presents itself to you almost effortlessly. And I want you to get a sense of the emotions of boarding a plane. Isn't it the case that there is an excitement at where that plane will take you, but also an irritation or frustration or an annoyance, anything that impedes your ability to make progress can feel like an irritation. And I want you to think about any plane journey that you've been on the past. Isn't it the case that you can still remember the destination, the memories, the highlights of that journey, that vacation, that holiday, and all those things that irritated you, perhaps having to queue, having to get luggage weighed or check in. All those irritations are just distant memories now. Because we tend to focus on those things that make us feel good. And those irritations are just part of the process. Because in all those wonderful holidays and trips, journeys that you've been on, if you were to give up on the journey just because of a mild irritation, I wonder what you would have missed out on. Missed out on all of those wonderful memories and experiences. As you start thinking about that plane, and that the plane represents a journey towards a destination, a future goal, a future reality for you, I want you to get a sense that there's always different ways to get to any destination. There will have been flights in the past that simply leave the airport nearest your town and take you on a direct flight to the very city or location that's your destination. But in many cases, you may have to make 1 or 2 or even 3 changes to get to the destination. And perhaps, as you start thinking about goals in your life, some of the biggest goals that you've ever achieved weren't possible to do in a single journey, in a single attempt. Sometimes the direct approach is the most efficient approach, but sometimes you need to break down the journey into individual single components. Each of those single components can be achieved, and when you add up all of those single components, it's the equivalent of 3 or 4 connecting flights that get you to your destination. And what's the single most important quality to get you to your destination? Sometimes it's perseverance, sometimes it's determination, but in many cases it's just courage. To do that thing that you're afraid to do, to go to a place you've never been before, to try something that doesn't have a guarantee of success. And I want you to make a mental image in your mind of your own spine. Maybe you're picturing a skeleton. Maybe you're imagining that skeleton inside your own body. The spine attached to your skull, attached to your legs, attached to your rib cage. But I want you to get a sense that the spine is essential because it connects everything together. You've heard the phrase spineless as a way of describing someone that lacks courage, is cowardly. And from this point onwards, I want you to imagine that if you have a spine, then it means you have courage. Because courage is not bravery. Courage is not being fearless. Courage is being willing to do things even when you feel anxious, even when you feel a state of panic, nervousness, hesitation. And from this point forwards, I want you to imagine that whenever you imagine your spine in your own body, you immediately adjust your posture, sit up straighter, raise your eyes. And I want you to get a sense that changing the posture of your spine unlocks courage for you. The courage to pursue big goals, far off destinations, and the kind of things that feel exciting just because the idea is so big. And I want you to accept a willingness that you are willing to tolerate irritation after irritation, delay after delay, because you know that by going through those temporary irritations, you will finally get to your destination. Irritations could be small things like queuing up for a plane, something delayed. Or irritations could be big things, like being betrayed by a best friend. And whether it's big things or small things, from this point onwards, you will consider them all minor inconveniences, little irritations. Things that are water off a duck's back. And in doing so, it enables you to unlock more of your perseverance, determination, courage, and desire to do those things that might be slightly nerve-wracking, but at the same time enable you to enjoy the riches of life. And then finally, back in that airport, you then hear over the speaker that the plane is now ready to board. And all of those irritations seem to disappear. And you unlock the excitement that comes from knowing that you're now making progress to get you to a place where you've wanted to go for a long time. Imagine that you've gone through the check-in. You've boarded the plane. You've sat in that seat. Imagine your seatbelt is on and that the plane is taking off. And imagine looking out of the window of the plane, perhaps seeing the land get further away, and feel that sensation that you feel when you know you're actually in the air. You've unlocked the courage, the excitement, and the perspective to see minor setbacks as mild irritations to enable you to make huge amounts of progress on whichever area of your life is most important. And then you realize all of this is just your imagination exploring possibilities. And you're not on a plane or in an airport. There was no betrayal by a friend. These are just thoughts within thoughts, ideas within ideas, dreams within dreams. And actually right now, you're listening to my voice firmly in the present. You're in your own physical body right now. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle those fingers, wiggle those toes. Get a sense that you're in your own physical body listening to my voice right now. Because very soon, I will count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling excited about the future, feeling courageous whenever you move the posture of your spine, feeling that you have exciting destinations, that you have a desire and an ability to start making your own journey towards them. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.
Great, thank you for watching that. Some of you may have noticed that this was actually a live stream rather than the normal recordings that I do. Again, it's just to give that reassurance and sense of confidence, really, that these are genuinely randomly generated hypnosis episodes. There was no preparation. Those people watching on YouTube will have seen that the dream symbols, the nouns, the emotions, all randomly generated. I couldn't have known what they are, not because it's a magic trick, but more that it's getting me out of my comfort zone to be able to quickly weave these words together into something that hopefully was useful or beneficial for you. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe to the show. If you have any feedback or thoughts, please put some comments down there, because I always check them and it helps the YouTube algorithm to find bigger and different audiences. So thanks again for watching the show. Hope you found it useful. Take care, and I'll see you soon.